Hall to the desk. So, Stone, before we go across the country, let's stay close to home. The Cleveland Guardians and Cincinnati Reds made some pretty big splashes this offseason.
So first, the Reds made a big splash and hired a manager, Terry Francona, who I think gives them instant credibility. One of the best coaches in all of baseball. He's running with Boston. He's won in Cleveland. He turned Cleveland around from the dark days of the early 2010s. Manny Acta. Ubaldo Jimenez and Justin Masterson.
Don't even remind me of those days.
And they also have Brady Singer coming in from Kansas City and the Jonathan India trade. And Austin Hayes, they look to contribute a lot. Now for the big-time team, the Guardians, everybody wants to know, what are they going to do? They've lost Andres Jimenez, who had 20 defensive runs saved, but his bat was lacking and is getting to the point where the contract may have not been worth it in the long run. So they made the moves. They flipped him for Spencer Horwitz initially, and then they turned that into Luis Ortiz, Josh Hartle, and another pitcher, and a lot of talent there that I've seen the footage of, and I think that they will contribute big pieces in the future. It'll be up to Juan Brito, possibly, very likely, who I've seen is like the first big opportunity in spring to get that second base spot. You could also have Tyler Freeman, other players slot in there at times. Bazana probably won't be an option until late in the season, if that.
He's got to make up that time.
He's got to make up that time.
Well, one thing about the Central Divisions is that they're both kind of always up for grabs, with 2023 belonging to the Twins, and I believe the Brewers won the 23 NL Central. And then this year, it kind of swaps hands. Who do you see coming out of these two contentious divisions? Because I personally believe that the Guardians have that competitive pedigree, and I also believe the Reds. I think these are two Ohio teams who are destined for division championships.
Well, the Guardians right now are my favorite. The Royals, probably the second best team. And the Tigers, they're getting in there. They got Alex Cobb, who showed flashes this season, took no-hitters deep into games, and he ate a big part of innings, a big part of the reason we were able to rebound when we went in our slump and got to the postseason. I mean, there's a lot of options for the Guardians. They have Slade Cecconi, who they acquired in the Josh Naylor trade. He struggled a bit, but I think Carl Willis and stuff and Luis Ortiz, they can work with Carl this season to make the improvements. And there's something that's big, a stat called extension. Extension, for those of you who don't know, it pretty much is a layer of deception. If you have a fastball that's 96 and you can get your leg out a little bit further, make it appear for it's coming closer, it just makes it that much faster. Kate Smith did a great job of that and turned it into a dominant season. It probably could have won Rookie of the Year if not for Luis Gill.
Well, one thing that we have really talked about a lot this offseason is that one team out in California is spending the top dollar to get the top prized free agents. But before we get that, who, outside of the obvious team, and I know you have lots of opinions on that, who was your off-season champion?
Right now, I think the Mets or the Yankees are clear off-season champions. The Mets, they signed Juan Soto, which I'm hoping that he can make some defensive improvements just to justify that much money. It's a boatload of money. It'll probably end up being $800,000 when it's all said and done. But they've also added Clay Holmes, who looks to play a starting role in the rotation. They've brought back Sean Manaea, who's always been like top of the league average. He's not elite. He's not going to win you Cy Young, but he's going to eat you innings and win you ball games that will get you to the postseason. And he put up a great postseason too. They also retained Pete Alonso. That was a big deal.
Big-time move.
Big-time move. He did struggle a little bit, and there's another name that I'll mention later that remains unsigned with the contracts. I don't know if that's a Scott Boras thing, but Pete didn't get what he was looking for, so he took it's 2 years, but it's essentially a one-year prove-it deal. If he balls out, he's going to clearly opt out. But if he doesn't, he gets the second year, he gets the money, another chance to prove himself. Another team that actually did very well this offseason, the Athletics, they spent money to open up this era in Sacramento. Luis Severino should play a big role. They've gotten young talent. Brent Rooker extended. I think the Athletics, I would not be surprised if they made a wild card run or even ran for the division. They were one of the better second-half teams in baseball.
I don't know about division for the Athletics. That's a shaky franchise, especially they're going to be playing their games in AAA Sacramento, as you mentioned. One team I really liked this offseason was the Arizona Diamondbacks, picking up 2023 Cy Young winner Corbin Burns, along with an RBI machine in Josh Naylor, former first baseman for the Cleveland Guardians. I really like them. And when you're in the division with the Dodgers, they decided instead of complaining about payroll, excuse me, they really did spend some of their own bucks. However, the Dodgers spent a lot of money in deferred payments, spent a lot of money this season, more than any team combined. They have the biggest payroll in all of baseball, or is that the Mets? Would it be the Dodgers?
Dodgers right now.
Dodgers
have the biggest by far. They've got deferred money that is worth more than some MLB teams.
Well, really quickly, do you think the MLB should have a salary cap? One word answer.
Yes.
I agree with you, Stone. So, thank you very much. And last night, the NFL honors ceremony